From uneducated house help to generational wealth through real estate. Like, if this sounds like Tosin, is that possible? Yes, I'm here to tell you that it is, because today I'm actually telling a real life story of someone who's inspired me to go on my own personal real estate journey. Welcome. So let me know where you are joining this session from. I am Tosin Omotosho, Niger property lawyer, and I'm hosting this live session from Lagos, Nigeria. All right, so I would want us to go like right in. It's break time, so I want us to just maximize this time and learn all that we can learn. So this man was he wasn't educated. He had very humble background. He used to be a house help, and I remember him saying that he ate eba every day for 14 years. So when he grew up, he said no more eating eba. You know, it was really quite an experience. But he got introduced to a kind of business, and of course, because he didn't have so much money, he started the business on a small basis. But you know, as it is, when you are good at what you do, there will be opportunities that will come your way. And if you are smart enough to take those opportunities, it could just be the difference between what you or where you are currently and where you want to be. So with time, because he was quite a very diligent person, he started this business on a small scale, and then he got an offer from these people who were bringing some particular type of goods into the country, and he got the offer to be their sole importer. So he was the sole importer for that particular product in the whole of southwest Nigeria. I won't be disclosing the city, but it's not Lagos. It's another fairly big southwestern fairly big town in the southwest in Nigeria. And so he started running this business. A lot of people will come from literally all over Nigeria to come and get money, to come and get the products that he was sole distributor for. And as time went on, of course, he started making money from the business, He will put some back in the business, but then he started looking out for land opportunities. So he had this friend that they would do land banking together, and I'll explain what that means. So they would usually just go out and look for areas that were emerging cities, new areas that were developing, that people were likely to move to. They would go there, they would meet with the omonilers, the people who own the place. They would buy large expanse of land. They will hold it for a while, and then it will sell for a profit. So it was basically what he started with. So his business profit, he would put some of it in real estate and leave the land for a while and make money from it. And from there, started with land, graduated to houses, and that was how he literally went from someone who was educated and house help to generational wealth. And I'll explain what I mean by generational wealth. Now, when people leave assets for their children, that's generational wealth. They leave assets that can create wealth, because at the time when he passed about 2 years ago, he had over 20 houses and many plots of land. And these houses had now become, you know how it is when, if you build a house in a certain place today, if the place was like the outskirts of town, now, what will happen in the next 20 years? Most likely, in the next 20 years, that place is no longer outskirts of town. It's not like in the main area. So, like, he had these houses in very strategic areas. Of course, when he built them, then maybe the places were not yet developed. But as time passed, the places became like the central business district of the city. And although after a while, he couldn't continue with the business, the Nigerian factor. If an entrepreneur, like, you will totally be able to relate, except you really have a very strong succession plan and people to work with you. It's difficult for the average Nigerian business to pass from one generation to another. So the business collapsed. But the real estate he had invested in was there to hold him up. And so, as an elderly person, although it wasn't like he worked with the government or expecting any pension from anywhere, the real estate that he had was what saw him through. So it was never a broke person. Like, in fact, he even used to, even his children, some of them were on allowance from him. Although personally, I don't think that's ideal, but I'm just sharing that so you can know how well off he was. He wasn't a poor person. He had wealth. He had real estate. He had assets. So sometimes you will take one of those houses, sell one, and put the money in fixed deposit. He could spend that for like 5 years, as you can imagine. Could spend that for years. His grandchildren, his children doted on him so much because, you know, it wasn't the grandpa who the children had to be contributing money for. It was the grandpa who was spoiling everybody silly and everything. And when he passed, he had quite a number of, he had quite a large real estate investment. Things we can learn from him, and that I have learned personally that I want to share with us is, number one is that he started small. So it wasn't like the first investment he did was like in a very big place. But he started small. He started with what he had, and then started moving to other parts of the city. And I have to state that he didn't invest in Lagos, Abuja, Port Harcourt, or any of the major cities, because many people think that if you don't invest in any of these cities, you're not really building a real estate portfolio that would make sense. No. In Nigeria, real estate almost always appreciates. So it really doesn't matter the city. There are metrics to look out for. All right. I mean, I've been asking questions about so many cities and doing my research, and I see that we shouldn't just be focused on these main cities. There's nothing that stops you from looking at other cities too, but there are factors, of course, that determines how this real estate appreciates and why land in some areas will likely appreciate faster than the others. So starting small is very important. Start with what you have now. Start with what you can afford. If you can find something that works within the budget that you have, start with it. Because the thing is, real estate will continue increasing. So if you say, oh, until I have 50 million, you have 10 million now. But you say, until I have 50 million, I won't stop. What will happen is that 10 million that you have, the longer you're keeping it, the value is going down because of inflation. So it's better you put it in something that 10 million can cover and still work towards subsequent investment. All right. Now the third thing that I can see from this man's life was he was very consistent. So he didn't start this year and just stop. No, it was consistent, because real estate is not a Ponzi scheme. So it's not I put my money in this year, I buy a land of 5 million this year, next year it will be worth 10 million. If you have that kind of mindset, the likelihood that you're going to lose your money, you're going to get scammed, is very high. All right, because real estate is almost always a long-term game. And it's usually the longer you can hold land for, the higher you would likely, the capital would likely appreciate. All right, so that's very important. Now, another thing about this man, you remember I said he wasn't educated, but he made sure he had professionals. So he had an accountant, he had his own lawyer, he had his own surveyor, and when he was taking all these decisions, he used to carry them along. So they would guide him and let him know, okay, this is the right thing to do, this is the right thing to do. Although he wasn't educated, but he made sure that he leveraged the necessary types of professional advice that he needed. And that's very important, because as a lawyer myself, what I can handle with regards to my own real estate investment is the legal side. I am willing and happy to always pay other professionals for their services. I do not say, oh, because I am a lawyer, I can handle every aspect of real estate. Why? Because I have this analogy that real estate is like jollof rice. And although rice is a big component of the real estate, of the jollof rice recipe, but you have only rice alone, you can't get jollof from it. You need other ingredients. So it's the same way, if you're doing real estate, you need other professionals to work with you. You can't do it all alone. Now, another thing that I can learn from this man's life is that he had friends that they were investing together, and there's the power of community is very powerful. I have personally experienced it. You need a community where you talk about investing. If all you talk about is just spending money without investing, you will just keep spending money, because I mean that's what you keep hearing every day, isn't it? So you need a community of people. You need your circle to be in sync with you, so that you can have this kind of conversations about how we investing, how we building generational wealth, how are we building a robust investment portfolio. It's very important. So I hope this has been helpful. Let me know in the comment section if this has been helpful. For those who are watching replay, I look forward to your comments too. And this man started from land, meaning buy land, hold for a while, and sell. And basically, that's what land banking is all about. So I'm inviting you. This is my special invitation to you. If you want to learn more about land banking, how can I do this thing? How do I know the lands that would likely appreciate? All right, what do I look out for when I want to buy land? When I go for inspection, what should I look out for? What are the due diligence steps I will take when I want to buy this land? What will I do if I'm paying in installments or paying everything up front? How do I secure the land? Because that's very important. Remember, you are going to be buying and holding for a while. So between the time frame where you buy and you sell, you have to make sure that the land is secure. So that's one thing that you need to want to know. The professionals that you will need to work with, what are the checks you need to do, what's the minimum time frame, what are the steps you should take, like step by step by step. These are the things that we'll be learning in the live webinar, where I will be sharing with you how to build generational wealth through land banking. The goal is you don't just want to invest for yourself, you also want something that would outlive you, and real estate is one asset that fits the bill. So the wait list is already out. You can join the wait list. The price of the webinar, the online training is 7,500. Now that price is for the first 25 people to pay. So if you want to know on time when payment opens for the webinar, then join my wait list. And it's really simple. Just send me a DM with the word wait list. Wait list, one word together, wait list. So send me a DM with the word wait list, and you get, it's an automated sequence. You get the link to join the wait list. As that before I started this webinar, this session, we had like 70 people. So make sure to join, put in your details, so that on Wednesday is when the cart opens, when payment starts. Wednesday 12 noon, you will be one of those who will get the emails, and you can get access to the class for 7,500. Please note that the class does not hold immediately. It holds in July 23rd. That's a Sunday. Yes, July 23rd for 4 p.m. So for everyone who gets a ticket to the class, you get the details of the registration, the link to the Zoom class. You get it in your email. All right. So make sure that you join those who would. Who can get access to the class for the cheapest price, that's 7,500. And once we have 25 people pay for the early bird pricing, the price is going to go to 9,500. So you can, when you click the link, when you send me a DM with the word waitlist, you can get all the details about the class. And if you have questions about the online, the virtual training, you can also comment under this post. All right, so I have to go. Thank you so much to everyone who has joined in. And yes, thank you, Andrew Holmes. You said it's been insightful and you love it, especially point 3. Absolutely. The kind of people we regularly associate and communicate with is a determining factor, yes, in meeting your goals. If you want to meet a goal, if you have a goal, the best thing is to find a community of people who have the same goal and work with them. It's just like your goal, you're traveling and you are talking with someone who is going somewhere else. The likelihood they are going to miss your flights because you're not paying attention is very high. But if the two of you are going to the same place, if someone is not paying attention, at least the other person is paying attention. And I've seen how belonging to the right community has helped me tremendously. All right. So thank you so much for joining in. For those who are watching the replay, let me know in the comment section how the replay is. All right. See you some other time. And make sure to grab a seat on the wait list. See you soon. Bye-bye.